We are here with members of the Spanish Town Primary School class of 1978, 79, and 1980. These are my friends for almost 48 years. We have here Mr. Neville Johnson.
Greetings, one and all. I definitely enjoyed my time at Spanish Town Primary School. I remember I started in grade one, lived in Johnson Penn for a year and a half, and then I'm proud to say that I was a part of the group that made the trek from the old barracks building over to White Church Street in the new building. So, I always look back on that and say, yes, I was part of history. So I was part of that group that went over. I enjoyed my time to see this is 40 years later, and I'm still in touch with some friends that I made there at Spanish Town Primary School. And just growing up there, going to school, and even when I moved away from Spanish Town to live in Portmore, I continued going to Spanish Town Primary School, and I learned a lot there about just interacting with people. I learned how to interact with girls. When I left Spanish Town Primary, I went to Kingston College. No girls. Still proud of KC though. But I learned that, and really how to be a man around girls and to respect them and to love them and to really treat them as sisters. And that today, 40 years later, we can still be friends.
Awesome, awesome. So, Neville, I knew that you and Courtney were instrumental in forming this group. Tell us how the group was formed and what motivated the need to form this group.
Well, about 7 years ago, I got in touch with Courtney. I don't remember how I got in touch with Courtney, but it might have been through somebody else. And we started talking, and we said, hey, have you seen this person? And Courtney said, have you seen that person? And we started throwing out names and said, have you seen so-and-so since primary school? Have you seen that other person? Because it meant so much to us. Those people, we were friends, and we were asking, hey, have you seen? And we're like, well, I talked to this person, I talked to that person, and we both said, you know what, we need a reunion.
Yeah.
And out of that, we had about 8 people in the first one, and then, so we had the first one, and then we started. As we talked to the people who were there, they started reaching out to other people who they knew, and out of that, the reunion just became an annual thing, and we definitely have been enjoying it. And we started a WhatsApp group out of it too, as well. And we started going to New York. We did that for a few years, and then we started stretching our wings, and now we're in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Nice.
Yeah, we are moving around.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. And most of us have built a family and have children. Explain how your Jamaican upbringing bears on the way you are now raising your kids. Like, do you instill some of the values, or are you leaning towards more of an American way of living the life?
That's an unfair question. We live in America, so you know what? We're going to live here like, this is America, this is where we live. So we're living in Jamaica, so we can't be imposing Jamaican stuff.
Yes.
We live in America. But I understand the question.
Correct.
I understand the question, yes. First of all, I grew up in a single parent home, and now I get a chance to be a father. And so my boys have the opportunity to live with both parents. And so we are people of faith. And so, as a godly man, I instill that value in my children, my wife and I. So we grow our boys, and being Christians, that's the first thing for us. And so we live our lives that way. We're Christian people first. Everything else comes after that.
Awesome.
So we live to please God and everything.
And I'm glad you finished the question right and not stick to the point that is an unfair question. Alrighty. So To the listeners who have never been touched by the Jamaican culture and experience, what can you tell them about growing up in Jamaica?
Listen, there's no place on earth like Jamaica. Listen, that's not just a cliche, and there's nobody like us. We say it every day. All right? Listen, if you're away for a month, 2 months, a year, it's like a different world when you go back. All right, new language, new words being added to the vocabulary.
Yeah.
Just lifestyle changes, everything from our culture, from food to the music, just the way we interact
Yeah.
with each other, and just the friendly nature and atmosphere of the people. I mean, one of the things I struggled with coming to the US is I could always go in Jamaica, I could go to any friend's house unannounced. You don't do that in the United States. It's not the same thing. People will not let you in. So we learn that back home. So the culture, there's nothing like us. The food, just the people are friendly. And one thing, if people don't like you, you know it.
Yeah.
All right. If they love you, you know it too.
Yeah.
All right. And we appreciate that. Just how people are. So if you've never met a Jamaican or if you've never been to Jamaica, check it out. Check it out.
Here we have Angaria Dyer. Hi, Angaria. We have Donna Campbell, and we have Devin Pinnock, and of course, Luxley Gregory. Guys, briefly tell us about your experience being a student at Spanish Town Primary. What was it like being a child in that space, and how did it mold you into being the adult that you are? I'll start with Angaria.
Well, there were teachers that we were drawn to, and they were mother figures. The way I grew up, my mom was always working. So I was drawn to some teachers that played a mother figure, and I took from their example, and that made me into the person that I am today.
Awesome.
I was
Thank
grounded
you.
from I was young.
And Donna?
Well, I agree with Andrea, but I'll also added that the kids, the student, from different families, different cultures, and my culture, I adopt a lot of others that I admired and bring along with me throughout life, which most of us are here. We've been friends since, and it's because of things that I've learned from them then, I still bring with me now. So,
Great.
Foundation.
And Mr. Devin, how has your experience going to Spanish Town Primary molded you into being the adult that you are? What are some of the values that you take with you?
Well, my values is work hard, play hard, and you will be a good guy.
I love it. Anything else?
Well, good teachers,
Yeah.
along the way,
Yeah.
good friends too, long lasting. So,
Yes.
all of them are good guys, so we try to be good guys too.
Awesome. I love that. And Mr. Gregory, what is your response?
Well, Spanish Town Primary,
Yes.
dear to my heart. I can go back to when we were at an old building.
No believe nothing him say.
Don't say you're from me.
Yeah.
Lie.
And that right here is Mr. Brown. Courtney, as I was just asking Loxley until you interrupted, how has your experience into the space of being at Spanish Town Primary molded you into being the adult that you are?
Spanish Town Primary was the foundation. It gave us the foundational education to be who we are today. That's where it all started. The academics, the social event, the relationship, it molded us into who we are today.
Yes.
Right? So we kind of thank Spanish Town Primary for that is the reason why we are here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It was the foundation, relationship, education to what we have going on today.
Yes.
Right? So now back to Loxley.
Thank you. Thank you for being so kind. Go ahead, Mr.
Like I was
Gregory.
saying, I can remember when we had an old building for school, Ghana. Devon, yeah, and it was about 1974 when we went on that demonstration, remember? And we moved to the new Spanish Town Primary where it's at now on White Church Street. From the days of that revolution of getting a new school, going into a new space, a space that we cherish. Like, it has been, like Courtney said, the groundation of whom we are today. We have a lot of Spanish Town people who are pretty much eloquent in this society. If I name any at all, quite a few would be mad, but I don't want to name anybody. Of course,
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Loxley. And Judy, are you going to respond?
No. I mean, no.
And thank you, Judy. And my next question, Neville and Courtney were pretty much the instrumental ones in saying that this group needs to happen. I already spoke to Neville and he gave me his take on it. Please tell us, how was this group formed and what motivated the need to form this group?
Well, this group was formed, Neville and I, we talked. And we said, because we know each other from our organic self. Before all the filters, before life had all this filter on us. And I believe that this group, because we know each other before when we were just kids, we know our organic self. So I believe that this group was the group that we could use as support, right? Where we could come here and do things like we did this evening. We get loud and then we love each other just the same, right? So this group was formed with love and friendship, and because we're coming from a place, right? A place of youth, a place of innocence and organic personality. Right? I love the word organic personality. Because it's when we were just pure. Pure and authentic.
I agree.
Right? And now even when we are together, the Spanish Town Primary come out in some of the conversations that we still have. Right? Even last night we were talking about it. But it's still love anyway. And we still have this group, and this group will go on for a very long time because it's been 40-something years now, 40 enough years that we've known each other. You can't post that because everybody knows we age now.
I know you're not ashamed of your age, because you look great for being 50 plus. And I think these people look just as good.
These people have me drinking out of wine glass, and I'm not even of age yet.
Wow! Cheers!
So we are here with Angeria, with Dana, with Loxley, with Devon used to be a bad boy as well, and still a bad boy, but see, part of it,
bad boy,
Part of it,
Can't go bad boy, kill nobody and then kill and rob nobody.
The thing is, Carla, if you think about it, look at the different personality here, and we accept each other. It's like
absolutely.
It's like nothing. It's like we're back in primary school.
Absolutely. And how many years is it today? This weekend would be how many years that you're doing this every year, apart from COVID?
At least 7 or 8 years.
7 or 8. I think that's great. And
No, because I lived in Florida for 18 years, and I went to one in Queens before I lived in Florida.
Oh,
So it's about 20 years.
Yeah, we've been doing this for more than 20 years.
okay.
20 years.
From different venues.
Yeah. It's just that different people as join the
Different
group.
people at different time. Comes up with an idea of a day in summer.
Yeah, I think
that
it's awesome.
we take advantage of.
I think it's awesome that not many people can say that they've known each other for more than 45 years.
Wow.
Not many people can say that.
We know each other. We know each other for more than that, and it doesn't feel like that.
Yes.
Carla, I want to say something just like what Courtney said. When we were younger in our organic self, they tell us that time was critical time for younger ones, for love, nurturing from parent. Well, it's the same thing with friendship. Friendship that you develop when you're younger You know, it's a friendship. That's a bond that you create.
Yeah.
And that bond will always be there. You'll get friends,
Yes.
but that bond we had was something that cannot be broken,
Yeah.
like, you know, friends that you meet 20 years after.
Yes. Great.
You know,
I want-
And
with,
I-
that, with that said, it brings back something that is really going on to date in Spanish Town.
That's awesome. And my next question
We don't want to have people killing each other
Yes,
from
yes,
Spanish. Please, no killing of us in Spanish Town.
Okay.
We're not only about Spanish Town Primary, it's about Spanish Town.
the city.
Spanish
Okay.
Town. Love.
The city, the first city in the Western world.
Okay.
Spanish Town is the
Yeah.
first developed city in the Western world. We should preserve Spanish
And that's
Town.
where our first capital
People,
was
we should
of
always
the
preserve
country.
Spanish Town.
Spanish Town.
Come on, stop killing each other.
Okay. Thank you, Loxley. And my next question for you guys is, what's your take on being a resident of this country, and how has being a Jamaican helped you to navigate life in America?
Growing up in Jamaica, you had to learn to survive. So basically, once you get through that, I don't think anything or anywhere kind of can jab you,
Break you.
because you're used to the changes.
Yeah.
We're used to growing up with not things handed down. I think a big part of it was. In schools, we had Jesus, and it did take a village to raise a child. And so we had a lot of parents, not just our own. Blood, family wasn't blood. Family was the people you went to school with, the teachers that teach you, that was family.
Yeah.
You go to school, you go to church, you come home, everybody, the whole community is family. So that kind of gear us in a certain way. And I think deep down, even if we're not in church now, we all still have God with us. So I think we're molded that way, most of us, where we can venture out and be able to survive through whatever changes.
Yeah. Thank you.
What I would like to say, in Jamaica, you know, growing up, we had everything we need, maybe not want, but things we need. So we were hungry for things. When I say hungry for opportunity, we come here, there's more opportunity. You know, the opportunity is here. So we're hungry for that opportunity because we remember what we were hungry for back home. So we're here, we grasp for everything because the sky is always the limit. And here, we strive for that, the sky.
Awesome.
And in order for us to know where we're going, we've got to know where we are coming from. Basically, Spanish Town. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're all here about Spanish Town. My thing is, no one student of Spanish Town Primary should ever go home hungry. That is my goal. It's gonna happen, Spanish Town people. I'm coming.
Awesome. And Mr. Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you want me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Okay. So it was, what's your take on being a resident in this country, America, and how has being a Jamaican helped you to navigate life in America?
I can tell you this. Being a Jamaican and growing up in Jamaica, went to high school in Jamaica, living in America helped me to appreciate Jamaica more. I know Jamaica has its challenges, crime and all that, but I can tell you that whenever I go back to Jamaica every month, I feel at home. Right? When you deal with all the things happening in America, the shooting and the politics and people create their own rules and all that, because you appreciate Jamaica more because them nonsense that happen in Jamaica. Right? So, you know, I love Jamaica, and, you know, what I can say is I thank America for the opportunity that it gave me for schooling, right? But my heart is always in Jamaica.
Awesome, awesome. And I'll stay with you for this question. Most of us have built a family and have children. Explain how your Jamaican upbringing bears on the way you have raised your kids, or are still raising your kids.
Well, you know, growing up in Jamaica, what I've always seen is men as providers, right? And it's one of the things I do best with my family. I provide well for my family. But because it's what I know, sometimes the romantic side, right, is not there because it's not what I know. So my wife now has to be teaching me that, right? And because she grew up that way, then I have to be learning from her, right? I know the providing side, the romantic side for the family is what I don't know. My wife is teaching me that now, and I'm learning. And she's patient with me, and and I appreciate her for that.
Okay, great. Did you hear that question, Andrew?
No.
So most of us have built a family and have children. Explain how your Jamaican upbringing has bared on the way that you have raised your kids.
I don't know if it necessarily built on, but on how I raised them. I knew where the lack was and what could have been changed, and I tried to capitalize on that and change it. So I'm more involved in my children's lives, as opposed to like my mom was a single mom. So as opposed to being just us being alone, I have my children being alone. I choose jobs that allowed me to be a part of the family, where we have dinners together that we didn't have. We took vacation together that we never did, and even if it was going down the block, we did it together. It was vacation for us. You understand what I'm saying? So, but it's a family net that you saw in Jamaica, because like I said, it was a whole village. It was never, you wouldn't go hungry where you live. Someone would see and know and would want to feed you and shelter you. So you take a little bit from every bit of the culture, and you put it and put it into your own children. Yeah. Kind of. So yeah, you just take a part of the culture. It's a different culture. Yeah. It's not selfish. Yeah. Okay. It's more unity. Okay. It's more unity, and especially when you get together, you see it. We might have our differences, but when we get together, it's different. It's like the motto, out of many, one people. Yeah. And that's how we are. Yeah. I wish America would change to that motto. And they
out of many, one people.
Out of many, we are one people. Yes. Out of many, we're one people. Okay. And I really like that motto, so I always say that.
Okay. And my next question is, to the listeners who have never been touched by the Jamaican culture and experience, what can you tell them about growing up in Jamaica?
Growing up in Jamaica, it's the same word keeps come to mind. Out of many, one people is unity. It's fun. It's laughter. Maybe at the time when we were children, we didn't even realize that it was so welcoming. It was so much fun, because with digital world now, the kids don't know what going outside and playing is all about. So now we will remember that. We realize how good we had it. Yeah. And wish that our kids had it that way, where it wasn't TV and video games and all that, and they were able to go outside and just have fun. Because now it's just some of it we able to capture on video, and they're getting it, and now they're actually thinking, oh, that seems fun. You know, they don't know nothing about hopscotch and bump on wall and playing jacks and all of that. No, they don't. So just the outdoor activity, and just the fact that we had to make do. Yeah. We made balls from the orange juice boxes. Play ball games.
I remember that.
Even for soccer ball, we couldn't afford soccer ball. We make orange juice box ball and we kick it, and we made do, and that was fun for us. Yes. So we know how to make something out of nothing. Is really what it was. So yeah, those are really fun times.
I love that.
And you carry it with you.
Yes.
So I think that's why it's so vast, where no matter where we go, we stand out. It's a Jamaica thing. We stand out. It doesn't matter. The food, the culture, it doesn't matter. We stand out.